Yesterday is another day, eh? I want to make mention first, in keeping with our subject last, here a story of the Lily of the Mohawks, Sainte Kateri Tekakwitha. Her is called in her tongue Gadalia Descoteaux, which can be meant to say she who bumps into things, as she was so called by the Mohawk. She had been born in Ossernon on the south bank of the Mohawk River, daughter of Mohawk chief Quebecois and his wife Descoteaux, a Christianized Algonquin woman of Trois-Rivières who had been captured by Quebecois and assimilated. She was captured in a raid by Mohawk chief Quebecois and assimilated into the Mohawk people. Both of them had died in about the 60 of smallpox, which affected the young lady as well, and may have contributed to her early demise in life. The epidemic had and did ravage the village, and she had poor eyesight thereafter because of it, hence her name, she who bumps into things. Her was adopted by a paternal aunt after the passing of her parents, and the aunt's husband was a prominent figure of the Turtle clan of the Mohawk Nation. So she was very much endowed with a familiarization of the Mohawk culture and tradition, albeit after a 1666 French-led raid partly destroyed Mohawk settlements on the south side of the river, certain survivors had moved north and built the fortified village there called Carignan. She became skilled in beadwork and basket weaving in accordance to the Iroquois custom. She had been then engaged to a young boy about age 13 in accordance to Iroquois custom. As a result of a treaty with the French, the Mohawk allowed Jesuit missionaries. However, because of this, by the age 18, she began her instructions into the Roman Catholic faith. And we talked about a certain Indian woman the other day about her being so instructed by her confessor, whom this young woman, Sainte Kateri Tekakwitha, confessed, "I can have no spouse but Jesus." And she had a strong aversion to marriage. Her was baptized accordingly on Easter Sunday, 1676. So she'd be, what, 16? At St. Peter's Chapel. And people still visit there today, and the water still runs from the spring wherewith she had been baptized. Her name, Catherine, is in honor of Saint Catherine of Siena, Caterina di Jacopo di Biancasa, 1347 to 1380. Of neither a rich nor a poor Italian family. Saint Caterina of Siena was a pious Dominican, tertiary and mystic, a reformer and a political activist, influential in religious and political affairs. And she was helpful to all people in need. And she also appeareth to our namesake, Johann d'Arc d'Orléans. Catharina's health failed and she died 1680, April 17th, age 23-24. Traditionally, her last words were, "Jesus, Mary, I love you." In the weeks after her death, she appeared onto her mentor, Anastasia Tagonhat-Siong, her friend Marie-Therese, and the missionary Claude Cauchetier. There are conflicting accounts of the hardship she endured within her native community due to her conversion. Mohawk tradition describes much less contemporary persecution than does the Catholic biographers and historians. However, she is widely seen by all as a bridge between the First Nations and the European cultures. So, we're just tidying up something we overlooked from last time, and we did miss a day. And there's nothing on the table to talk about, so we're digging into this stack over here and grab this. This blue folder is mostly traditional Métis families, ex-Soviet families, so that'll be fun to dig into when we do dig into it. I guess, no, we'll put it right here. This is an old Dark Ages genealogical chart. I just threw that away. But here we have something on the Deschamps. I'll gloss over it. It's some stuff I did photocopy from a book called French Canadians of the West. There is some genealogical work to this story. I'm looking for this part now, wherewith I will speak on to you the story of François Deschamps' père. He was a Métis warrior whom had partaken in, most notably, Frog Lake Incident. A French Canadian who, together with his entire family, acquired a sad infamy by means of violence and other unlawful behavior that marked the greater part of his life. Charles Carpentier refers to the numerous and wicked Deschamps family, whom he calls the very worst of subjects. We first find Deschamps in 1799, employed by the fur traders near the Rocky Mountains. By 1804, he had already been living among the Indians for quite some time. Chose his wife from among them and eventually became their interpreter at Fort des Prairies, Edmonton. During the Battle of Seven Oaks, he stood out because of his cruelty, and as a consequence received public praise from the officers of the Northwest Company, to which he belonged. The annotator of Larpentier's memoirs accuses him, apparently without sufficient reason, of finishing off Government Robert Semple with a rifle shot. The original adds, even though the governor was not mortally wounded, which he was, as well as the killing of several wounded men and the stealing of their possessions. I've read also there was the incident involving the attempting or the scalping of felled enemy by the Deschamps there at that battle. After this sad affair, Deschamps removed to Pembina on the international border. Historian Alexander Ross is mistaken in saying that he met his death there on the ice of the river near which he had built his home. The truth is that the poor conduct of his children forced him to immigrate to the upper Missouri around 1827. There, father and son attracted the hostility of everyone around them by their robberies, violence, and even murders in the vicinity of Fort Union, Williston, North Dakota, where they had settled. On 1834, October 19th, after returning from a hunt, Deschamps' sons got drunk and smashed in the head of the 19-year-old Jack Rem, killing him. Charles Larpentier, who was serving drinks, was only able to quiet things down by putting laudanum, opium, in the men's whiskey. Things got to the point the settlers, including Rem's family, Jean-Baptiste Jean-Baptiste Gardepie, Rem's family, and the others decided to kill Deschamps and his son Francois below. On 23 July 1835, a trap was set for the two in a room in the fort where both of them went every day after breakfast. When Deschamps entered, Gardepie struck him a fatal blow to the head with his rifle and gravely wounded his son, who ended up begging for mercy. Not thinking that the older Deschamps was dead yet, Gardepie stabbed the old man in the abdomen to make sure he was dead. Francois Deschamps père was buried the same day. Deschamps François Fils, the oldest son of the preceding. He was born in the first years of the 19th century, and despite his young age, was nonetheless present at the Battle of Seven Oaks in 1816. Later on, he liked to speak of this sad affair, and even boasted of killing 6 Englishmen. Around 1827, he moved with his father and entire family to the upper Missouri River, and in 1832 was part of the expedition led by Prince Maximilian of Wied to the northwest United States. The explorer states that he was an excellent marksman and quite brave in combat, meaning François Deschamps Fils, an excellent marksman, quite brave in combat. Deschamps was an interpreter for Robert Campbell at Fort William on the upper Missouri. However, late in 1833, Campbell discovered that Deschamps was also acting as a spy for Kenneth Mackenzie from nearby Fort Union, Williston, North Dakota, in an attempt to cause the ruin of Campbell and William Sublet's fur trading venture. Deschamps then worked as an interpreter at Fort Union, where, on 1835 July 23, he narrowly missed being killed by Jean-Baptiste Garlepi, his father's assassin, whom it seems accused him of proposing to buy his wife. These two families seem to have reconciled their differences until the following summer. On 1836, June 28, while Francois and his brothers were with their aged mother at Fort William, the old woman asked her children, already under the influence of alcohol, to avenge their father's death. They then killed Jack Rem, whose son they had killed 2 years earlier, see above, and threatened to do the same to Rem's friends among the whites and Métis of Fort Union, who then resolved to wipe out the entire family. Armed with a cannon from Fort Union and some rifles, they cleared Fort William of the horses and company provisions, and laid siege to their own company's fort, where the family was holed up. One of the Deschamps family had already been killed when the people of the fort allowed the women, Assiniboines, to flee, fearing an attack from the tribe should the woman be harmed. The widow Deschamps soon appeared with a peace pipe to beg for mercy, but she was immediately struck with a bullet to the heart. Jean Maillat, who caused her death, was wounded in the neck soon after by a bullet fired from the besieged family. After a fairly dense volley of bullets, night started to fall before the people of the fort had attained their goal. However, Carpentier recounts, as the bloody work had begun, it was obliged to be accomplished. Now, at that time, the American Fur Company had bought out Fort William and had rebuilt it 150 yards away from Fort Union. This is why the Métis families and traders who had Indian wives were living thereabouts around it. And so they decided to set fire to the fort and post men on horseback ready to intercept the members of the Deschamps family who tried to escape. Then they saw Francois running for one of the bastions, where the cannon was immediately trained and discharged several times without, however, causing any damage other than some holes in the masonry. When the fire was mostly out, a métis named Joseph Vivier wanted to approach to get a better aim at the man who was holed up there. However, a rifle shot sent him flying and laid him out dead, to the great joy of Francois, who let out a victory cry. Seeing this, the assailants redoubled their courage, and their shots became more and more deadly, until the point when they no longer received any response from the bastion. The bravest among them then went to see if the besieged man was still alive. Finding Francois huddled in a corner of the building with his wrist broken and out of ammunition, a man shot him point blank. The battle ended about sunset on the 29th. One of the Francois brothers, only 10 years old, died the next day as a result of his wounds. All the others, 8 of them, including the mother, had been shot or burned in their home. Francois' body was thrown on the rekindled fire, and his mother's body was buried in a freshly dug hole without any ceremony. Descendants of Joseph Deschamps. Generation 1. 1. Joseph Deschamps, son of Joseph Deschamps and Marie Breland, born circa 1816. Married Rosalie Berger de la Framboise, daughter of Jacques Berger and Cécile Dumont, 1840, St. Boniface. Married Indian, 1875, September 11. Children of Joseph Deschamps and Rosalie Berger de la Framboise were Joseph Deschamps, Elise Deschamps, she died before 1885, Virginie Deschamps, her married François Deschamps de Rabasca, François Deschamps de Rambasca is number 2, the first name in the list of names concerning Generation 2. And yeah, that's for sure. So we'll deal with that in short order. Three siblings are listed to Joseph Deschamps, Elise Deschamps, Marie-Anne Deschamps, Marie-Josephte Deschamps, Agnes Deschamps, who married, please excuse me, who married Florent Paco, were all siblings to Virginie Deschamps, who married her nephew. Is that her nephew, Generation 2? Is that her? Generation 2. I'm looking to see whom was the parents for Francois Deschamps de Rambasca, but I see not. I'm sorry. I don't look these things over before I share them with you because we're going through them as a point to throw them away. Descendants of Francois Deschamps de Rambasca, Generation 1. Francois Deschamps de Rambasca, born 1824, married Marguerite Canada Déthénault before 1845 at St. Albert. A second wife, Virginie Omemkin Kayan, daughter of Wetikas Toguan, an Indian, and Kayan. He married his second wife before 1875, 30 years after marrying his first wife. So 1875, before 1875. His last born child was born May 1869. So he probably took that second wife, Virginie Omenakini Kayan, daughter of Watikis Toguan, an Indian, and Kayan, to help raise his extensive family, which we see here. It existed of 9 children. As said, the youngest born 1869, so about age 6 then, and the older, the son, Campbell Deschamps, him was married in 1887, so that's shortly thereafter, the marriage of Francois Deschamps de Rambasca to Virginie Omemkini Kayan. Now, the children of Francois Deschamps de Rambasca and Marguerite Canada Déthénault, as said, we begin with Charles Deschamps, who married May Beauchamp, daughter of Pierre Beauchamp and Nancy Ward. They were married in 1887, St. Mary's, Calgary. The son, Francois Deschamps de Rambasca, was first married to La Louise Courtioril and afterwards married to Virginie Deschamps. So I know not whether they were related otherwise, except if only by name. Cousins, eh? And outside of the story we were just told of this family, you know, there's really not too much more interesting for us to look at. Just by glancing over this work here, the Deschamps family were definitely one of the more interesting and important stories that we could tell. We could maybe compare them to the Black Donnelly family, I suppose. I mean, weren't they massacred in a similar fashion? I'm looking for Baptiste Deschamps, him having married Josette Hamel, or Hamel, I found one Baptiste Deschamps, him a son of Baptiste Deschamps de Rambasca, but no mention here and nothing marked on these pages of this family so as to stand out and attract my attention. But according to this scrap, we see Pierre Paris Deschamps, son of Baptiste Deschamps, and Josette Hamel, was the husband of Louise La Laronde, daughter of Marie and Louis Denis de la Ronde. Here are also listed two sons of Francois Deschamps and a Cree woman of Red River settlement, and these be Antoine Deschamps, who married Marie Nespers Nesquas, woman Louise Chahalis, and Alois Cowlitz. That is circled. Those three women, if they are three women, are the mother of David Jean-Baptiste Marie. Three children attributed to Antoine Deschamps. And he may have been a polygamist. There were many polygamists in the Red River settlement, especially among the Orkney folklore. The brother of Antoine Deschamps, Pierre Deschamps, married Marie Oscahana, daughter of Louise Oscahana dit Monique. Deschamps married Marie Oscahana, daughter of Louise Oscahana dit Monique. Their children were Christine, Odile, Cloris, Odile II, Rosalie, Pierre, Celestine, and Jean Ephraim. That is kind of like a balance of in lieu of a comparison to what we just looked at concerning the Deschamps family. So we got newspapers to look at, or this file to break open which says Métis, but we'll just deal by digging in with the scrap first and talk about this family. Family of Louis Bolduc, Carignan Saliere, soldat Grandfontaine. This man was present at the marriage of Daniel de Ramay de Courcelles, governor of New France, 1665 to 1672. So, Pierre Bolduc, whose portrait is in the Hall of Acts of the Faculty of Pharmacy of Paris, was the husband of François Lebrun. Them married about 1639, December 27th, Massacre, Paris. Their son, Pierre Bolduc, a drug dealer, or apothecary merchant and grocer. His father had a contract with Rossignol and Chazeret, 1595, August 06. Pierre Bolduc, son of Pierre Bolduc and François Lebrun, married Gillette Pijart, a child bride aged 16. They were wed 1639, December 27th in Paris, France. Gillette Pijart was born 1623, March 14th, Paris, Saint-Jacques de la Boucherie de France. Her brothers were Pierre Pijart and Claude, or her cousins. Gillette Pisant was the daughter of Jacqueline Charon and Adam Pisant, a master silversmith. There's no further study into the siblings of Louis Bolduc. What we do know here is of the parents, and as said before, many times these parents' names, such as with the Fille Marie, the Fille de Roy, the Carignan, the Saliere, oftentimes their names are only remembered because they are so logged in the books, so to speak, by the scholars then keeping records of whom, say, the Carignan Saliere were, for example. Here we see the parents were of some well-off. The name Pisant brings to mind the family of candle makers. I'm sorry, I don't remember that family's name offhand. We will in time learn. Here we see Clement Bouchard, son of Marie-Joesephte, was the husband of Louis Briard, daughter of André Guibert, Jean Briard, born La Rochelle, 1613, died 1648, La Rochelle, about age 35. Now, Louise Briard and Clement Bouchard, son of Marie-Joesephte, them were wed 1632, Saint Nazaire and d'Ille-France. Their son Nicolas Bouchard married Anne Roy, child bride age 17, her daughter of Anne Fleury and Pierre Leroy. Italicized names, meaning there be the name, but nothing else be known. Nicolas Bouchard and Anne Roy were the parents of Charles Bouchard. Him wed Marie-Joesephte Corriveau. She, it seems here that she is said to have murdered her first husband, Louis Dexter, a farmer of the first French family. Children are listed: François, 1752-1827, Angelique, 1754-1789, Charles, 1757-1791, and him being the name which stands out most here of Nicolas, the children of Nicolas Bouchard and Anne Roy. It's interesting to note after she was widowed, it seems Anne Roy may have married Claude Guimont. Him in his 60s, I guess. He had also been married prior to Jean Bitosset, whom was age 24, but at age 41 she went on to marry Ignace Ravel, the son of Philippe Ignace Ravel, son of Augustin Ravel and Elizabeth Caron. It's a little bit of a complicated family, it looks like, but the chart maybe is what's complicated about it. Claude Guimont was a militia captain. And him the father here of Louis Guimont, the husband of Jean Bitosat. So we definitely got to talk about the concept of the child bride. Here we see Anne Roy was age 17. But Marie-Joesephte Corriveau was 16. La Corriveau, that name stands out. I think that name is worth looking up. We'll put this chart aside and look it up again, because that name stands out as something that we should look up again with a little more emphasis on learning of. Now, there's just these few pages left, so we're not going to mumble and dilly-dally. We're going to just fly through them. They're first French family. And the fun part about this, the first one, is it's about Jean Carpentier, son of Colonel Carpentier, son of Guillaume Carpentier, son of Arthur Carpentier, son of Saliere Carpentier, son of Bolduc Carpentier, son of Anceau Carpentier, son of André Carpentier, son of Arthur Carpentier, and Jean de Hangouart. Arthur Carpentier and Jean de Hangouart were the parents of André Carpentier, whom wed Ida de Erquingham, the parents of Anceau Carpentier, whom took to wife Agnes de Comines, the parents thereof of Bolduc Carpentier, who married Marie Bolacre, daughter of Marie de Deschamps and Charles Bolacre. And their child was Sohir Carpentier. And he married Eleanor de Thioulaine, daughter of Marguerite Le Bousquerousse and Charles de Thioulaine, son of Pierre de Thioulaine and Marie de Lamont. Pierre de Thioulaine was the son of Gerard de Thioulaine, the grandfather of Gerard de Thioulaine, the grandfather of Arthur Carpentier, the son of Sohir Carpentier and Eleanor de Thioulaine. Arthur Carpentier married Louise de Beauchesnay, daughter of Guillaume de Beauchesnay. Their son was Guillaume Carpentier. He married Renée, daughter of Marie de Rapimont and Charlemagne von Waynonville. Their son was Colonel Carpentier, and him wed Jean Ginton de Savigny, daughter of Isabelle de Hassonville, daughter of Marguerite Lepebvre, daughter of Marguerite, and Jean the First La Petite de Hassonville. Berquin de Hassonville married Marguerite Lepebvre, daughter of Marguerite and Jean the First La Petite de Hassonville. Their daughter was Isabelle de Hassonville, and her wed Guillaume de Savigny, son of Isabelle de Bellerin and Wery de Perroy. Wery de Perroy was the son of André de Perroy and Pellis de Fontenay-Pouligny. Albert I de Perroy and Jean de Rest were the parents of André de Perroy. Simon III de Perroy and de Nogent, daughter of André de Jaunet, were the parents of Albert I of Perroy. Simon II de Perroy and Petronille de Amand Simon were the parents of Simon III de Perroy, the father of Albert I de Perroy, the father of André de Perroy, the father of Wary de Perroy, the father of Guillaume de Signavi, the father of Jean de Joneton de Savigny, wife of Colonel Carpentier, the parents of Jean Carpentier. And I think that's an important family, and we see more here along the same lines. This is a related family. Albeit unrelated, they are or can be tied together in a much larger chart. James de Bourbon was the father of John de Bourbon, was the father of Louis de Bourbon Vendôme. He married Jean de Montfort. Their son, Jean de Bourbon Vendôme, married Philippote de Gournay. They were the parents of Jacques de Bourbon Vendôme, whom wed Jean de Rubempré. Their daughter, Catherine de Bourbon Vendôme, was the wife of Jean de Estres, and their son, Antoine Carignan de Montaigu, 1469 to 1560, married François Badou, daughter of Marie Grenon and Etienne Badou. Antoine Carignan de Montaigu and François Badou were the parents of Gabriel Carignan, 1560 to 1640. The wife of Jean Tranche-Montagne de Lafond Pepin Monogrand, 1560, 1611, 1530 to 1611, de Tranche-Montagne. Jean Tranche-Montagne de Lafond Pepin Mongrand and Gabriel Carignan were the parents of Pierre de Lafond, 1581 to 1665, husband of François Prieur, daughter of Hélène Méchain, daughter of Isabelle Bobin and Pierre Méchain, son of Joseph Méchain and François Genevrier. Ex-Vibré Barré was the ancestor or progenitor of for Nicholas Martin Creste, and him wed Jean Carpentier, daughter of Marie-Marguerite de Magnier, and Jean Carpentier, the son of Colonel Carpentier, and Jean Gineton de Savigny. Pierre Prieur, the son of Nicolas Martin Creste and Jean Carpentier, married Marie Charon. Their son Joseph Prieur de Roussan married Hélène Méchain, and their daughter was François Prieur, 1594 to 1665. 3 children are suggested. Again, we'll deal with the Crete family, the Creste family. You know I enjoy talking about them, and the Carpentier and the Cartier family. Here we see, to begin with, Antoine Crete married Jean Legrand. Their son Jean Crete married Marie-Marguerite Gaulin, daughter of Marie Baudinier Bonnemere, and Vincent Gaulin, son of Joseph Gaulin and Sarah Marchon. Jean Crete and Marie-Marguerite Goulin were the parents of Marie-Anne Crete, whom married Robert Pepin in one of 3 marriages. And their son was Jean Pepin, and his brother was Robert Pepin. Robert Pepin married Isabelle Elizabeth Royer. Jean Pepin married Marguerite Moreau, daughter of Martin Moreau, son of Gaspard Moreau and Marie Gallider. Also mentioned here, or suggested, are Barnaby Gagnon and Francois Creste. Perhaps we'll find some connection there later. We're just going to burn through these last few pages and call it a day. Not that I get bored, I get distracted. I can become overwhelmed by deep feelings at times, especially when pondering the uncertainty of my future. What we're doing now together, talking about these charts, is my way of throwing them away without throwing them away and them having accomplished not much, but whiled my time away. Hereby, though, within these discussions, I can focus and organize and not so much as learn, nor acquire an understanding of about us or of us whom we are, but what made us. Normandy. Jean Mallet married Marie Dauset, 1540s to the early 1600s. Their son Pierre Mallet married Jacqueline François Léger, 1581 to 1628, her the daughter of Michel Gislain of Perche, France, and Jean-François Léger, son of Theodore Léger and Nicole Chevreau, 1556 to 1614. Now, Pierre Mallet and his wife Jacqueline François Léger were the parents of Madeleine Mallet and her sister Perrine Mallet, whom was married to Marin Boucher, the parents of Mason wheelwright Jean Galleran Boucher de Bosbuisson, born in France in 1633, died in Quebec 1714. A founding family. This family did not in any way at any time go native. If they did, those very few persons of that line that did so go native, I have not encountered much more of them, but to know that the Boucher family remained steadfast French and French Canadian and Quebecois all through their history. I did find a few, though there were more than one line of Boucher that came to the New World, the Nouveau Francais, but very few of them stipulated downwards into those white Indians, the Pas d'Enhaut, or the land around the Great Lakes, or even the Red River settlement, Pembina Turtle Mountain neighborhood. Another Normandy family, Jonas Leclerc, married Marie Parmentier, and they were from the early to the mid 1600s. Again, two daughters are listed. Marie Claire Dite Leclerc, although it doesn't say Leclerc here, it doesn't say much more. Her the wife of Guillaume Legris de Lepine, 1633 to 1702. Parents of Florian Legris de Lepine, 1600 to 1733. Husband of Marie-François Branch. The parents of Marianne Legris, 1699 to 1766. The wife of Jean-Baptiste Guyot-Poulin. The parents of François Guyot, husband of Marianne Boudreau, and Louis Guyot, a carpenter, the husband of Marie-Jeanne Giraud, daughter of Anne Toupin and Jacques Guyot. And they had a son named Louis Guyot who married Josephette Bouvet. Florian Legris de Lepine and Marie-François Branche were also the parents of a daughter named Louise Paul Guyot, 1707 to 1759, her wed to Claude Legris de Lepine, parents of Marguerite Legris. And if we are to return again to the top of this chart, you can see the name of Marin Boucher and his wife Perrine Mallet, my glasses, were the parents of Mason Wheelwright, Jean Gallerin Boucher de Bois-Boussin, husband of Fille Amérière, Marie Dite Marguerite Jean Leclerc, born in France, 1641, died Quebec, 1702. Sister of Marie-Claire Dite, wife of Guillaume Legris de Lepine. So that's just another look at that Boucher family, but from the wife's standpoint, from her familial point of view. Again, here we'll take just a real quick peep at Pierre Lafond de Pepin and his wife François Prieur. When you hear Lafond de Pepin or the Pepin family, at least I tend to think more of those Midwest Mohawks folk, but this be surely purely a Quebecois family or a colonial French family, for the daughter Jacqueline Lafond de Pepin, 1615 to 1702, was the wife of Jean-Baptiste Couchon Desromier, 1603 to 1655. The brother Guillaume Pepin de Trashmontagne, 1606 to 1697, was the husband of Marie-Jeanne Michon, a child bride whom had been wed age 14-15. And their brother Etienne Pepin de Lafond was the husband of Marie Boucher, or Marie Boucher. And in this again we see strength in that early Quebecois French tie. So these people would all be what we might today call the middle class folk or upper middle class folk, whereas they would mingle with the middle class folk and not so much professionals, in so much as there be but the one Mason mentioned. Otherwise the rest be workers, laborers, farmers, whatever, the people in your neighborhood. 2 pages remain of that, and we'll call it a day today. Deal with Etienne Pepin de Lafond, the brother of Jacqueline Pepin, and Guillaume Pepin de Trashmontagne, husband of Jean Michon, daughter of Jean Michon and Yvonne Masquillot. Now, Etienne Pepin de Lafond was the husband of Marie Boucher, the daughter of Nicole Lemaire and Gaspard de Boucher. And that is like a very important tie. That is part of the backbone of whom we are as a people. That Marin Boucher, Gaspard Boucher, Jacques Boucher, that Jean Boucher, that whole lineage related in with the first French family and the first Quebecois family that mixed with the native people on a basis rather than say out in the woods. The daughter of Etienne Pepin dit Lafond de Marie Boucher, daughter of Nicole Mary and Gaspard Boucher, was Geneviève Pepin dit Lafond. Her first wife, Jean-Baptiste Trottier, the son of Jules Trottier Belcourt dit des Rousseau and Catherine Loiseau. She was afterwards married to Augustin Trottier, the son of Marie-Madeleine Cousson de Caliou and Ange Lefebvre dit Descoteaux. I know not why here he be called Trottier. There is definitely something amiss. What I know not. So what we'll do is just put this away and not look at it again. I'll go right in here to this last page, which may explain the confusion we just did encounter. Jean-Baptiste Trottier, husband of Geneviève Pepin dit Lafond, were the parents of Augustin Trottier, the husband of Marie-Angélique Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, the sister of Jean-Baptiste Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, husband of Madeleine Chastenay, daughter of Marie-Anne Galès dit Hébert, daughter of Anne Galère and Michel Hébert. Michel Hébert and Anne Galès were the parents of Marie-Anne Galès dit Hébert, the wife of Jean Chastenay, son of Jean Chastenay and Antoinette. Jean Chastenay and Marie-Anne Galès dit Hébert were the parents of Madeleine Chastenay, the wife of Jean-Baptiste Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, brother of Marie-Angélique Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, children of Ange Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, son of Pierre Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, sire de Gentillet and Jean Noir. Ange Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, son of Pierre Lefebvre dit Descoteaux, sire de Gentillet, married Marie-Madeleine Cousson de Caliou. Her the daughter of Marie-Marguerite Faubert, the daughter of Marie-Josephte Corriveau and Pierre Faubert. Marie-Marguerite Faubert was the daughter of Marie-Josephte Corriveau and Pierre Faubert. Jean Cousson de Caliou, the husband of Marie-Marguerite Faubert, was the son of Jean Cousson, Jacqueline Pepin, sister of Etienne Pepin dit Lafond. And there is a list of names that I'm not going to go into because I know not what they mean. What we see here, though, is a connection of the Trottier family and the Lefebvre dit Descoteaux family and the Chastenay family. And all these families were part of those quatorni, or the subsequent settlements which evolved after the Carignan had established their settlements and the other fort settlements had established. So these people were more people of townships and whatnot, rather than, say, of, again, the forts or the wilderness or the big cities, Quebecois, Quebec, Montreal, Trois-Rivières, Detroit, Chicago, New York, whatever. On the final side, on this verso, this confusion, we see the name Hélène Machin, daughter of Isabelle Bourbon and Pierre Michel, married to Jean Prieur de Rousson, son of Pierre Prieur and Marie Charol. But we see not the familial relationship with the family of Jacques Pepin de Lafond Colonel de Monteguer. Again, the imagined Monteguer colonel names. Other Pepin de Lafond families are mentioned in relation with the Prieur family. Julien Lefebvre, the son of Marguerite Lessire and Johann Lefebvre de Descoteaux, son of Mengon Lefebvre, married Magdalene Esrabel, and they were related by their son or their son's marriage to Moïse Coudelot and Marguerite Tombelle. Moïse Coudelot, son of Loïs Coudelot and Marguerite Tombelle. The name Marguerite Tombelle appearing both as a mother's name and as a daughter's name, but being significant of two separate persons. So in that, we've had a talk, I suppose, and we do have something of interest to look at concerning Marie-Joesephte Corriveau. I'm interested to know if not she be the one they called a witch and burned in a cage full of cats. Well, God love us all.